What is up, people? Grant's podcast, you know what it is. Keith, aka OG Grant. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into the show. And we are live. Okay, guys. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
If you're taking a minute,
who goes first?
you go first, Nelius.
whoever.
You can go first. Ladies first.
Okay, that is even tricky, but anyway, fine. I'm amazing, but kuna freeze. It's very cold.
I don't know what you're talking about. Freezing. You.
Nelius.
I don't think you guys understand the concept of freezing.
That's the concept of
Freezing. Because of snow.
Yes.
Is it snowing in Kansas already?
Not yet, but you people do. The temperatures are below. Are the temperatures are below zero here already.
Don't compare our problems. It's only first world problems.
Please, you do not know.
Plus, I think you're already used to the climate, so don't complain too much.
No. I wish I had the money to be coming home every winter just to get away from this place.
You should come for Christmas and have some cuckoo.
Yeah, that ship has already sailed. It's yeah. Anyway, people, I have called you. It's an emergency because there are things going on. Okay, Linus, we were going to discuss the Nelius, have you watched the Joker movie?
No. Which I saw Linus did a review on it on his blog.
Yes. Yeah. Spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about
I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good. You should watch it. So we were going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. Then I don't know if we should start with that or we should do the topic called Africa.
So do I just skip this one out, Ama?
You can sit this one out, or you can. Yeah, we can do. Kwani, it's not that. Umesoma your blog.
Okay. Am I about to expose myself? Because I feel like Meshanieka like in a hot seat.
Sasa. Yeah, you're frying yourself.
So you didn't read my blog, okay?
Yeah, that's
understandable.
That's the amount of love you get.
You see what you've done?
No, I'm just saying that's the amount of love you. No.
Hello.
Let me say this. You know, we talked about this blog, and I still have it on my tabs, on my laptop tabs. It's still on there. So you saying you've not read it, I don't understand.
Wait, I still have the link. I'm getting to it. Please don't attack me in the morning. I've just woken up.
The problem is not having a link. The problem is, have you read? Anyway.
Wait, I think we need to forgive her because she had a graduation.
Yes,
no,
thank you.
That is no excuse. But anyway.
Big congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And yeah, I don't know what to say because that country is a mess. I want to talk about that. I feel sorry for you guys. No, seriously. No, jokes aside, I feel sorry because I every day I go to work or I'm at home sitting down. I usually think about Africa. I don't know why, especially Kenya, because that's where I'm from. So that's where we're all from. And I've been trying to think, because I've seen big companies like Techno, Infinix, Alibaba, Facebook CEO. They came. Twitter CEO says he's going to come there for a few months. So all these big tech companies are seeing potential in Africa, but Africa we are still looting. What's going on? You have nothing to say about that?
I don't think you can actually pinpoint one single thing that is going on. I think it's just a lot of factors.
Like what? Because, okay, we can talk about corruption, but that has been the song since I was a kid. Till now.
For me personally, I think
Mhm.
when you have money in your pocket,
Uh-huh.
you always see niches and opportunities
Right.
and places that people haven't tapped into.
Okay, but to counter your
And
argument,
unfortunately, for most of us Africans,
yes.
we're not that well off economically.
No, Linus, I want to counter that with this. Let me counter that with this logic, right? Anything that has been invented was invented because there was it was a cause of they say necessity is a mother of invention. Yani there was something necessary, not necessarily money, but M-Pesa. Can we say someone had money to? Hey, bless you. Hey, please mute the phone before you sneeze and interrupt people's points on this forum. Anyway, I was saying when M-Pesa was when M-Pesa was formed, can you argue that that person had money to go through and invent that?
Okay, but to build on Linus's point,
Mm-hmm. Oh God,
when
it's
you're
two
coming
against
from
one
a
now.
place of money, you see opportunities. But when you're coming from a place of you don't have money, your next thought is always survival. It's not necessarily how you can make it better.
Okay.
How you can make it to the next day.
Okay, but on your point on survival, don't you think in a way? Because I'll be honest. Me, I have no money. Because everything, because the money I make, everything goes toward bills or taking care of the family and everything. So as compared to you guys, we are actually kind of in the same boat, but you guys have degrees already. Anyway, and but because all yeah, the
Is that
good.
supposed to make us feel better?
No,
I know,
with a
right?
degree
That
you can
sounds
go
so
anywhere.
sad.
Yeah, so that's actually that was the point. Because recently on the radio, Minak again was talking about if you had a chance to leave that country, would you right now?
Personally, I can tell you for a fact
Mhm.
that I'd like to travel the world.
Right.
That's been my dream since I was very young.
Okay. Yes.
But I never want to go
And
to
stay
a
out.
country to stay there for life, because I know that my destiny is here. I'd like to change things, although I might not be comfortable with how things are running here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I love the place.
Mm-hmm.
I love the environment. I love the people. I love everything that comes with Kenya, the positives and the negatives. And I would not leave this country for any other one.
My friend,
Although traveling the world is part of my dream.
you know, I've been trying to get some
But-
friends. Okay, what are you saying, Nelius?
I think everyone wants to be. Every Kenyan wants to be Kenyan, but from a vantage point of view,
Yes, it's very actually.
not necessarily being
'Cause
part of the country, like part of the country. You want, the same way. You can say maybe you traveled a certain country, but you are in a plane. That's how you want to be Kenyan.
Yes, and
because
you just
on
want
the
to-
ground, between the different.
You just want to be like, hey man, you guys, what's going on down there? You don't want to be the one explaining. I understand, but to be honest, I think it's unfair for big companies to be coming to Africa to invest, and Africans themselves are sitting on. It's like sitting on the gold. Then this guy comes, says, "Hey, you guys, you're sitting. So we give you this little bit. We take the gold, we go manufacture it, then we come sell it to you guys." Because honestly, techno, the things Africans consume, most of them are made somewhere else. Even though Ethiopia, I was surprised. You know, Ethiopia, there's a, what is it called? The phones are technos. They're made in Ethiopia. They're assembled, not even made. They're assembled in Ethiopia. That blew my mind because the things. I mean, I like the idea of tailoring things for Africans, but I think it should be Africa. Okay, this brings me to another point. Do you think Africans are capable of running successful companies? Case in point, Safaricom.
Absolutely, I think Africans have the capability to do that.
You don't think they loot it to the ground?
History, of course, with Kenyans, corruption is always at the back of people's mind. So whenever an African is the head of or the chair of a company,
They think of how they'll benefit themselves.
There's going to be a lot of questions, especially with people, with regards to whether he has integrity, he's not corrupt and stuff, especially nepotism, because we know that
You have
if
to
you
know-
are related to somebody who's
Yes.
but to a total relative, there's a high likelihood that you'll get that job.
That's true.
But I think Africans also, to say that Africans can't lead can't lead a company successful, I think that's a negative attitude. It's like the idea of colonialism, whereby Africans are thought of like people who can't think, and that's why we need to be led by white people.
No, I haven't
that's
said
not the case.
I haven't said we can't think.
Okay, your point is very valid, but I have a question.
Yes, please.
How do we prove? Okay, so we've used Safaricom as an example, right? But if we're being honest, we all know that all the CEOs of Safaricom have been expatriates. So how do we just say that
that
Africans can actually lead something?
Yeah, because
not that I'm saying we can't.
Yes,
I
didn't say
like a better example. It's a very successful company. But if you're being honest, it hasn't been led by a Kenyan.
Yes,
Kenyans work there, but that is different.
Yeah, I didn't say
from leading something.
Actually, my point was not Kenyans cannot lead.
Karachi Brewery is headed by an African.
Oh goodness! Now we're talking.
Yes.
Now we're talking. And Equity Bank. But I was saying, do you think those are just outliers? Because, for example, Safaricom is one of the notable companies that has been around for some time. So that's what I was noting. Do you think until I don't know? Because when you say when we think a Kenyan is in a certain position, we know even politicians. There are people who lead us. We know they are very corrupt. But that's what I usually used to argue. I wish we could get, because now we're getting Chinese to build the roads. We're getting other people to do our jobs. Should we get other people to lead us to fight corruption? Because I don't see the cure for corruption, honestly.
I don't know. Okay, maybe it's a offside, but I think we shouldn't really focus on the negative aspects of Africa, because even European nations, they have really negative aspects.
Yes.
But when we focus only on the negative, that is what we only see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it comes with a good thing, because for there to be corruption, it means there have to be projects going on, there have to be investments going on. So
Yes. And okay.
Yeah, and I think that question for me, if I look it from a psychological point of view, if I would rephrase it, I think that maybe you're asking is there something wrong with the Kenyan mind?
Yes.
Is there something different with the Kenyan mind? That other people in other countries don't have?
Is there?
For me, I don't think there's anything fundamental with the Kenyan person.
Then what's wrong?
Every single human being has that capability, has that potential to be corrupt.
Yes.
To be.
So is it the environment?
To do underhand schemes. Yes. It's just that maybe it's happening a little bit more in Kenya compared to other countries. We've actually been ranked as one of the most corrupt countries in the world, in the top 4, I think. In Africa, we're in the top 2 behind Nigeria.
Oh my!
But there's a lot of factors that play in. But personally, I don't think that there's anything wrong with the Kenyan person.
Okay.
It's just a stereotype that's building, and the more we talk about it, the more we believe it.
Okay, so because the point I was building to, Nelius, because I was wondering, because now that it's so corrupt, because I've even seen like clips of the president saying money is not in circulation and whatnot. So I was asking myself, how easy is it to do business? I even asked Linus one time, how easy is it to do business with such an environment where you have to know someone who knows someone, or you have to butter some hands? How easy is it to do business in such a country?
How easy is it to do business?
Yes.
I think if it's an informal business, it's very easy. But when it comes to a formal business, getting a business license, it's tough.
Yes.
It's tough, especially considering that the government has made it even worse for small-scale businesses. It's not easy to make it, because when you count all the tax you have to pay and all the business officials, sorry to say, you have to bribe to get what you should essentially get without any form of bribery. It's very tough.
So you think if there was a way to streamline everything in a way that you don't have to go through someone, you can just go through a system, you fill your details, you pay online or with mobile money, and boom, they send you your license. It'll be easier.
Okay, It would be, but there's no perfect system. There will always be loopholes.
Yes.
I think, I don't know, I want to refer this to Linus. I think most things start from the mind, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I think our mentality needs to change before our behavior changes.
That's true.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah,
The mind has power.
yeah, because I don't know. I've been wanting, because I'm really interested, because I've seen the potential that Africa has, and I was thinking, if we could get band up with some people and be like, okay, this is a problem we see, let's put money into it, not throw money at it, let's put money into it and see if it will work for other people. Because actually I'm not even thinking about profits right now. I'm just thinking, can we make it work for people who are on the ground to at least benefit from it? But I was thinking, how easy is it to, because I don't know people honestly, and I might get there and lose all the money bribing people before I even start my projects. So that's what I've been thinking. I don't know what's on you guys' minds.
Personally, I've done business once. I tried to do business while I was in second year.
Okay.
I bought some shoes, some second-hand shoes, and came and sold. It wasn't so difficult because it was all informal. Didn't have to register, didn't have to get a license to practice.
Yes.
But with regards to formal businesses, just like Nelius has said, I agree. It's not easy to get a license.
Okay.
Plus, if you get one, it would come at a very, very, very huge price.
That's right.
And for most of us young people, we can't afford that.
Yes.
There was a talk going on, I think sometime last week, that the government is planning to waive taxes for youths for 5 years after they start their business. I don't think I'm not sure if that's going to be any feasible or if it's going to work.
Yes.
I think it would be a very good idea for young people because being taxed at a very early stage when your business is beginning to take root, to grow,
it's gonna cripple the business.
I think it takes a lot out of your business.
Yes, absolutely.
I think we could use more help in that respect.
Okay, and because I saw loans, getting loans. The president was talking about people should get loans easily. So, what are your thoughts on?
On the loans issue, when I was doing my project, it touched on something about money markets.
Yes.
And money markets, it compares the East African countries. And apparently, our president refused to. There's a certain point, and the interest rate is not supposed to surpass, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't have such a law.
Wow.
So our banks can just decide. Let's put the interest rate at 16%.
What?
Which is very unfair.
That is outrageous.
For people, because
that is outrageous. 16%.
It is, but you also have you also look at it from the viewpoint that our country is basically broke, right?
Yes, and it's a risk giving out money.
We need taxes. So we need money. But taxing people is not the way forward, because now people will start avoiding tax, and instead of collecting more, you're collecting less.
Yes.
Which makes it worse
because
in the business environment. So even investors don't actually want to invest in your country because the point of any business is to make profit.
Exactly.
And it's not making any profits.
Oh man. So yeah. Okay. Because when we can talk about taxes, because here we pay a lot of taxes. But the thing is, you pay a lot. Then the next year when you do your taxes, the taxman either gives you a refund or tells you owe us some more money. So it kind of works. But I don't know about the Kenyan tax system. I don't know how it works.
I have a question for Linus.
Oh, Linus.
Have you ever heard about any Kenyan getting a refund on their taxes?
Now.
Nope.
Now we are heading somewhere.
No, not any that I know of.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. All right.
Such a sad story.
Yes, because that's the thing. So And now to my previous question, you guys, you're not sure you'd want to go live somewhere kidogo, then maybe go back home and retire.
Kidogo, maybe, but get a citizenship somewhere else.
Yeah, but by kidogo I mean
not.
like 20, 30 years. Then when you're in your 70s, you go back home and retire.
Maybe I picture myself going to maybe a place like Madagascar. Enjoy the
island
sun and pass the sun between my toes and enjoy the warm weather, see some beautiful women, and
then,
come back to my nation that I love so much.
That's the dream. That's the dream right there.
Personally, I just love staying here.
Yeah, because
I don't see myself relocating anytime in the future.
Okay, but there's a lot of people were being asked that and said if given a chance they would leave just because of the economic situation. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
Madam Economist?
I don't think fleeing your country is the solution.
No, it's not necessarily fleeing. It's going somewhere, getting established, then coming back and investing.
Okay, so that is economic fleeing.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Basically, it's like you're going to a country with better business conditions.
Yes. Somewhere you can
coming
thrive.
Back when you're old, deathbed basically, but
okay.
It's not a deathbed because our government has a tendency to appoint really old people. So
Yes.
I guess you'll be
You
at
can
your
get
prime.
a job. Yes, you get a job at 90, and skooma at 10 years.
Yeah.
Get some chums. Because that's the appropriate age, to be honest. Because people, it looks like the gray you are, the better you're a candidate of a government job. But anyway.
But maybe you can tell us about it. You can tell us how it is like to be outside. Are you enjoying it?
It depends.
Would you advise us to take it up as well?
I advise. Actually, I've been telling people to come because I need friends here. I'm alone. That's why I need people. But anyway, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's bad. I think it's something different. If you're willing to do something different, check it. If it's not for you, you can always go back home. But the good thing is you can't be stuck here, because life here is fast. Because some people come here and they're like, I cannot. Life here is work, sleep, just repeat that. Work and sleep, work and sleep.
Are people nice over there?
The nicest people you've ever met.
Are they loving?
Yes, the nicest people you've ever met are Americans. Americans are the most trusting people, and I usually tell them that. Americans are the nicest, most trusting people. I'm not talking about the rural areas, I've never been there. I mean in the cities, you meet the nicest people ever. I'm like, oh, you're from where? And they're interested to actually know where you're from. Or I think Americans, so far, they're the nicest people I've ever met.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm serious. Even when you walk out a door, I don't know if people do this in Kenya. Ukifungua mlango, then when someone's walking, actually someone will hold the door for you until you come. Do they do that?
You know what?
Not in Africa.
I told you.
That actually explains why, like in movies, they're always trying to save America. If you're saying they're the nicest people, that makes sense.
Yes, I'm saying Americans, I mean, the policies and dealing with other countries might not be the best, but the people inside America, they're the nicest people. Very nice. They're very, I don't know. I know some of them are nosy, they always want to know your business, but it's not, they have no malice at all. They're curious people, just nice people. But yeah, so yeah, I've been trying to get, so you guys, you should, I need more friends, man. I'm tired of doing this podcast over the phone. Yeah, but anyway, on to mental health. Nelius. Excuse me. So now, hello?
Hello?
I don't know who turned on their radio while we are talking. So now I'm listening to something I don't even know.
That's definitely Nelius.
Yes. Nelius, please, we are recording here.
You do some editing.
No, I'm not editing anything. I'm lazy. Plus, I'm a parent, so please.
That is not an excuse.
It's a very valid one, actually. You know, I've realized having a baby is the best thing. Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, my kid. You can't argue with that. At least you come out and I have to stay to nini with my kid. Perfect excuse. You guys get kids. I'm saying. Anyway.
No, I use myself as an excuse.
Yeah, but people just know you're a terrible person.
What?
People just know you're a terrible person. But me, if I just pull up the kid's card, they know, what a responsible man. But anyway.
When people know you're a terrible person, they have zero expectations for you. Oh, why didn't you do this? Because of who I am as a person. So,
I wish I could live like that.
But that's such a big contrast. In America, you're seen as a responsible person because you have a child.
Yes.
Here in Kenya, if you're 21 and you have a child,
you're very responsible.
You're not married.
This is me. I'm telling you.
Right
you see now. Okay, we can talk about that. Actually, we can talk about societal expectations. What are the expectations as a typical African young person? What are your expectations? Go to school, right? Graduate, get a good job. Then what?
You get married, you get 2.5 kids, you manage to buy a house in the suburbs like after 5 years.
I tell you.
Then you go to work, you complain about the government, you buy skooma, and then you die. It's
wow, that's very interesting. It's because it's I don't know. Yeah, because here it's different. Actually, people don't get married the age I got married. People actually languish in student debt for a bit. They pay off the loan, the kidogo. Then maybe in their 30s, 40s, they get a kid, just one, because they don't want to lose their professional jobs. Then they finish their jobs. They either get laid what's the word? Laid over. How many laid what? They get fired. The word. Then or they finish it, retire, get pensions or social security. Start traveling the world, because actually old people here are the ones with the most money, because they've worked all their lives. They drive the best cars. I tell you, being old is some of an advantage everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I forgot what I was about to say.
Am I supposed to talk of my expectations?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Last week I attended my last class in campus, but it didn't feel like it was my last. But
No.
I didn't even notice that it was my last class.
It is your last.
So definitely, yeah, my last class, because I already started my exam yesterday, my finals.
Okay.
So I have this feeling that sooner or later I'm going to go back to a classroom. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm going to study. But that wasn't my last time I attended a classroom.
So you love school that much?
My expectations, get married at 35.
My friend.
I feel that 35 is my ideal age for marriage.
Okay. Then get kids.
To get any commitments right now.
Any kids?
Just focus on myself for the next 15 years.
No kids.
See what happens. Where life takes me.
So.
No kids in your future, eh?
I want kids. I love kids.
No, at 35.
Not now.
At 35.
At 35.
My friend.
Onwards, yeah.
You'll be a granddad.
So anyway, for people listening to this, potential wives, potential girlfriends,
no.
Linus.
No. We are not going to do it.
Focus on yourself.
My friend.
You actually have time to focus on yourself. You're getting married at 35.
My friend. We are not hooking up people here. For the record. No, we are not hooking people. Ignore that. No one has heard you. Linus wants to focus on himself. Women, please. Anyway, don't let these women trick you. Anyway,
I won't.
But anyway,
this is the most sober person I've ever met.
now those shots are being fired. But anyway, and also don't be responsible like me. Anyway, so I wanted us to talk a little bit about be like Linus kids, stay in school. I wanted us to talk about mental health for a little bit because that's Linus's. I can't believe you guys are graduating and I am here doing nothing. Anyway,
I can't believe that either.
I know it's that's why I said stay in school, kids. Linus, let's talk about mental health and the Joker movie. Since we last talked, I've read. I won't lie. I've read only one article, aside from yours. Talking because I was trying to look at the themes that were in the Joker movie, and the most recurrent one was people with mental health being set aside by society, and then they come out and they take the anger out on the world. So let's start with your article. What were you trying to achieve with your Joker article?
Particularly the Joker article.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with that. What were you trying to achieve?
Yeah. First of all, I enjoyed watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a joy to watch, right from beginning to the end. It was fascinating. It was mental health charged. I just love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this question as to whether the Joker, the new reincarnation of the Joker, portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix, whether he's psychopathic or psychotic. I don't know if you understand the difference between psychotic and psychopathic. But
please break it down for us. Yes.
Is a criminal who just doesn't care about what they do.
Okay.
They are sane. They're not crazy, but they have emotional deficits, and they just perpetrate the criminal acts for the sake of just perpetrating it. But for a psychotic, they're sick, they're out of touch with reality, and most of the crimes that they commit are as a result of reactive aggression.
Okay.
So I was just trying to analyze it and see which side of the spectrum, whether it's psychotic or psychopathic. Is the Joker more psychotic or psychopathic? So that was what I was trying to achieve. That was what I was trying to argue.
Okay.
I didn't give a verdict in the end.
Yes.
But if you read my article, you'd see that my arguments lied more on the psychotic part.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he looked to me as somebody who's completely out of touch with reality, and wasn't committing the crimes as.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying he wasn't.
I can hear you.
Okay, you're saying he wasn't committing the crimes as.
He wasn't committing the crimes as a result of his coldness or lack of empathy, lack of remorse. He was just reacting to a society that had ostracized him and beaten him and condemned him.
Okay.
And being physically abused as a child, got a brain trauma, which resulted to his uncontrollable laughs, stuff like that. I think he was more psychotic, more sick than psychopathic. So,
do you think, in your opinion, is there a way that he could maybe have both, a little bit of both? He could be psychotic, but also a psychopath in a way.
Sorry?
Is there a way? Is it possible for someone to be psychotic and also have psychopathic tendencies, or is it one? Is it one or the other, or it can be both?
Yeah, there's a thing in psychopathology we call comorbidity, and that's the ability of somebody the chance of somebody to have more than one mental disorder at the same time co-occurring.
Okay.
So psychopathy and a psychosis can occur at the same time, but it's very rare.
Okay. But we don't see that.
Arthur, I think there's a possibility for that because he also had some psychopathic traits.
Yes.
But they weren't convincing for me to just classify him as a psychopath. I think the psychotic part outweighed his psychopathic part, but it's it's very possible for somebody to have more than one mental disorder.
Okay.
Co-occurring at the same time.
Okay. So I don't know if Nelius, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
Oh, you had disconnected for a bit. Okay, so I wanted to, because if we continue talking about this movie, we'll ruin it for you, and I think you should watch it. Let's talk about depression. Linus, I sent you an essay of some sort. I don't know if you read it.
Yeah, I did.
Nelius, let me forward this message to you.
Okay.
How do I forward this?
I think it was tying depression with high IQ.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what let me send it real quick then, so she can read it as we discuss it. I've sent it to you, Nelius. So yeah, I was reading the essay I sent you, and the guy was saying there could be a connection between high intelligence and depression. So I don't know how true that, or because they said there are some links there giving there could be. There's a link here saying there was nope. There was a link. It's broken, but it's not there. It was saying there's been studies have been done saying linking high intelligence to depression. Not saying all smart people are depressed, but they said a good amount of high intelligence people were had some kind of depression that led to suicide. I want to especially talk about depression that leads to suicide, because this guy David Wallace, who I can put I don't know, I'll put the link for this essay up, and it said depression in just summarizing, I might I might ruin this, but they said someone with depression is like in a house that's burning down, and the suicide is like jumping out of that house. Instead jumping out of a burning house and falling to your death, because somehow falling to your death is better than withstanding the flames. And the flames he's talking about is depression. So the flames, the house burning down is you in depression, and jumping out is suicide. So it's jumping out of the burning house into to the ground. So according to him, that's how he put it, and he ended up killing himself because he also had depression, and he's one of the people who say, I don't know, I didn't really know him, but people say he was really smart. So that's why I was interested to know, is there a relation here really?
I don't know about you, but that analogy seemed to remind me of 9/11. The stories that I read about 9/11.
Yeah, because
of people being trapped in buildings, and the buildings were burning from below them, and they were like
jumping
100 stories up,
and
they just had to like jump.
Yeah,
they just decided to jump rather than get caught up in the fire and burn alive.
Yes.
Yeah, so depression is a very dark place to be in, and most people don't understand that. It comes with a lot of things, and the word depression is the one word that's been misconceived by so many people in the world, and people use it to describe feelings, normal feelings and emotions, which is not the truth. And we know that for somebody to have to be branded as somebody who's depressed, you need to get a diagnosis from a qualified practitioner, a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So it's not something that you wake up and say that I'm depressed, because it comes with so many symptoms that need to be picked out by a qualified mental health practitioner, and it's not something that your friend tells you, or somebody who's not qualified.
Right. So you cannot self-diagnose.
It's a very dark place. Yeah, you cannot self-diagnose.
Okay. Nelius.
Yes.
You have any thoughts on this? I sent you. I don't know if you've finished reading.
Actually, I haven't. I can't do both at the same time.
No, you.
But I think I'm not qualified for anything.
Okay.
But I'm kind of starting to think that people are just using like depression as Linus amesema. I don't know. It's not a fancy word.
Yeah.
I'm misusing it just because you're a little sad. mean you're depressed. I used to use that word a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then you come to realize that for somebody who's depressed,
Mm-hmm.
it's a real condition for them.
Yeah.
It's something they struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you can just
Brush off.
use it anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Linus, how do you draw the line between being sad and being depressed?
Being sad is a normal feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You can be sad, and sadness is common to everybody.
Yeah.
But depression is not. Although depression is called the common cause of psychological illness,
Mm-hmm.
because most people have depression.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone gets it, and you can go through your life from birth to death without ever being depressed.
Right.
So depression comes with so many symptoms. I've mentioned a few.
Mm-hmm.
The first is insomnia,
Yeah.
which is called lack of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
in a layman's term.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a diminished ability to think or concentrate, or being very indecisive.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's you can also have feelings of worthlessness.
Mm-hmm.
You feel as if you're not measuring up to standards, you're not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You feel as if you're not in the right career and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You can also have fatigue, loss of energy, and also loss of interest in daily activities.
Mm-hmm.
And also, for somebody to be diagnosed of depression, they must have shown signs of weight loss, which is about 5 to 7 kgs.
Okay.
So you lose weight. That's one of the indicators of being depressed. And then there's recurrent suicidal ideation, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for somebody who's depressed to go on a suicidal spiral,
Okay.
which most of the time ends up to be very, very fatal, and it's such a sad story. And the thing with depression is that people can disguise,
Mm-hmm.
people can put on a facade.
Yeah.
It's not, depression does not have a face, it does not have a look.
So it's hard
not
to.
easy to pick it out. You can't just see it. Somebody can come to a classroom and they're smiling, and then the next thing you notice that they kill themselves over the night. And so it's very, very difficult. It's very subtle, and that's why I've made it a point in my life that if somebody puts something on their status, on their WhatsApp, Facebook, and I read it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something, and maybe they're saying that they're sad, they're not feeling well, I just make it a point to reach out to them,
Uh-huh.
and try to find out what's happening, because so many people killing themselves, and we can't explain why they did that,
Because
and
it's just
because
so.
of this disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you? Because when you said people feeling a sense of worthlessness, because most of us also have some existential problems. Because sometimes you feel like sometimes you're just so low and you're like, what's the point of life? But it's just because you've maybe had a bad day or a bad week. So how do you differentiate between having an existential problem and actually being depressed? So is there like a timeline, like to say you're just having an existential crisis just because this week at work has not been very good? Or how do you differentiate that existential crisis and depression?
Yeah, it's not uncommon for a normal person to feel worthless sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very common.
Uh-huh.
But the difference between a depressed person
Mhm.
and a normal person is that the depressed mind has a way of catastrophizing things, or magnifying them, making them look as if it's the end of the world. And for a normal person, feeling worthless does not lead to a suicidal spiral.
Yeah.
But for a depressed person,
Mhm.
they might go to the very end of things and even decide to take their own lives.
Yeah.
So feeling worthless is not bad, is not uncommon. But for a depressed person, they just have a way of
It pushes them to.
magnifying it and having it define their lives, and that's the telling difference.
Okay.
So, do you think
Mhm.
that for a depressed person, especially people living in Africa where depression is not recognized as a real condition,
Right.
the fact that it is downplayed contributes to the detriment?
Of those people, yeah.
Sorry,
Linus.
can you please repeat the question? Sorry.
Okay, so for a depressed person who lives in an African household where depression is not recognized as a real condition, does it contribute to the detriment? Like, does it make the condition worse?
Yeah, because it's not being.
Worse.
Yeah, because it's not being it's not being acknowledged.
So does it mean if a depressed person goes to therapy and they come back to the same household? So, okay, what do you do in such a case?
Linus,
because they're bringing therapy, yes, but they're coming back to the same conditions
that maybe triggered that depression.
Yes.
I think if you go for therapy, you're taught on different ways of coping. There's a therapy technique we call cognitive behavioral therapy. It comes with skill sets of coping, and it's based on the understanding that you can't change everything about somebody's life. You can change their thoughts, you can change their beliefs, but you can't change their families.
Right.
Most of us come from very toxic families.
Yes.
But there's not much really psychologists can do with that respect.
Right.
But what we can do, we can equip the patient, the client with the techniques to deal with the toxicity in the families and cope better with their condition. Because most of the time our hands are tied.
Right.
Not unless we call for a family therapy. We can't really do much with regards to the client's environment. But what we can do, we can equip the client with an arsenal of techniques and coping mechanisms to help them deal with that depression.
Okay. Yeah, because because I know in Africa, mental health is not regarded as it's either you're sent to. I remember they used to say they'll send you to Madare, or there's no other option because nobody wants to. Yeah, and then I came here and saw here the asylums. There are places where people go, spend some time, then they're slowly ushered back into the world because and I think the Joker movie was talking about that, because this guy has always been set aside. He's always been told this is how you, and so he even has I think he has a distorted reality because of how he is to himself. He's never in the world, he's just in his own head. So I think that could be the problem, in the way that we don't want to treat these people as we treat each other. We want to treat them, or those are people, put them aside, take them somewhere and just lock them up. So I think, and how are we going to change that, especially in African countries where mental health is not really regarded?
It's such a huge problem here in Kenya, especially because when you talk to somebody, to the layman about mental health, they think that a mentally ill person is a crazy person.
True.
Is a crazy person who's locked up in an asylum somewhere, or running in the streets naked.
Right.
But that's not the case.
Right.
Mental illness is not just about the psychotic people. It's a huge spectrum, and there are very different conditions which are very subtle, which can't be noticed, and we've already talked about depression. But it's not limited to just the guys who are locked up in asylums.
Right.
And we need to know that therapy is part of life.
Yeah.
Personally, the things, even for me personally, the things that I just can't cope.
Right.
And that's why I have a group, there's a group therapy session that I have with my friends, where we just go there and talk and vent and release.
Yeah.
Because there's this saying in psychology that goes, unexpressed emotions never die. They are buried alive, but come forth later in uglier ways. So
yeah, and
if you can find a way to vent your frustrations, to talk about them, it actually makes things better.
Yeah, I know this forum is also a vending for some people. I'm not gonna mention names, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess something else that contributes to really poor mental health awareness in this country is the fact that you tell somebody about depression or other mental health issues, they're like, we have Jesus.
Oh God.
But in reality,
no, please. if
we
you-
need helpers, right?
Yeah, if we're
Yeah.
going to go that route, now it's
You need to vent to somebody
yes,
who actually
yeah,
gets you at human level.
yes,
you know?
not telling you to seek refuge in religion.
Yes, somebody who actually gives you feedback
Yeah,
and makes you feel like you're not alone in the world.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, it's yeah.
And
If
that's
you
a sad affair.
yeah,
I
co-
think pastors and priests, they're putting us out of business as psychologists. Because they're doing most of the work that we're supposed to do.
no, but do
And
they
you know, in
are
a
they
therapy
trained?
session, it's a therapeutic relationship,
Yeah,
Yes.
which they don't get with pastors and priests.
yeah. Are they trained to
But
be?
I hope that people get to understand that. The
Yeah,
difference.
but are they trained to be? Are they trained psychologists or people who you can talk to? Are they trained in that, or they just assume the fact that they're spiritual leaders? They got this.
No, as a matter of fact, they have no idea about psychology. You know, one of the key aspects of psychology and counseling is that you need to separate yourself, the self of the from the therapist. For example, like I can't use my values to counsel somebody because I know that I'll see different kinds of people.
Okay.
I can get a Muslim tomorrow for a client. I can get a Hindu tomorrow for a client. But
So you have to-
pastors, they use their values. They use the Bible to counsel people,
Right.
and that limits them in terms of who can go to them and who they can help.
Right.
But for us, we are trained actually to separate that part of our lives from the therapist, and which actually goes a long way in helping us help people solve their own problems.
Right. Now.
To add on to that, there's something that they said. Just because you did 1 unit of psychology doesn't mean you're a psychologist,
Amen.
right?
Hey.
Because you tell somebody to go to therapy,
Mhm.
and they're like, I did a unit of psychology. That is like a drop,
Yes.
a drop of water, and you know nothing.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
if you just did a unit in biology and someone tells you to go to the doctor, but see, I did biology, I know these things. Same case. So yeah,
There's many quirks in Kenya.
man. Anyway, because I think the more I've been outside Kenya, the more I've had time to look at the things people believe in, and some of them are unfounded. So like I used to see signs of daktari wa mapenzi and all that, and you see the amount of desperation people have.
Communication skills.
Eh?
I'm saying that mapenzi poster,
Yeah.
maybe it's trying to say you lack communication skills or something.
Yes.
And most of these people are actually fraudsters.
Yeah, they're quacks.
They're not genuine.
Yeah. That's what I was like. How
They're just trying
desperate?
to get your money.
Yeah. How desperate do you have to be to go to someone who put a sign on the road? What is wrong with you? Someone put a cheap poster on an electric pole, and you're like, this guy is the guy. But anyway, yeah, I have had a chance to like scrutinize a lot of things people believe in, especially when electing leaders. And I have this problem. People say, only God will help us, and I'm like, can we put the God thing aside? When you went to vote, God was not on the ballot. Satan was not on the ballot. You cannot be blaming Satan for such troubles. So I usually tell people, and yes,
Huh?
I usually tell people God and Satan were not on the ballot when you went to vote. So why are you blaming
True.
those? Why are you blaming those two? And the person you actually voted for, you're not holding him accountable. So I think I don't understand. So when you're outside, you see and I think also people from outside see the problems we have, and they can adequately or very efficiently point those out.
Can I digress just a little bit?
Yes, please.
So when you were saying that, how what a person do you have to be to call those
Dr.
kinds
Ramapenzis.
of- I think maybe it's because people think therapy is expensive, which, okay, it is.
Yes.
But my goes to Linus before we wrap the whole mental health issue up. Do you have like any suggestions for therapists or psychologists that might be affordable to a normal
Kenyan,
okay,
or
to
an
yes.
average person?
Yes.
Yeah, I think personally, I can tell you of one place, but this is just limited to people 24 years and below. And it's absolutely free. You don't pay anything. You just need a referral to go there, and you get the best people you can get. And then they'll take you through the whole process. Kenyatta National Hospital Youth Center. If you're 24 years and below, you go there with a referral. You can even write yourself the referral. And yeah, and the presenting issue, and they'll hand you over to a psychologist. And if a psychologist can't help you, they'll hand you over to a psychiatrist. And the services over there at the youth center are absolutely free.
Awesome.
I also have somebody. She's doing a PhD in clinical psychology. Her name is Candy. I don't know how much she charges, but she's very fair. I can make a number available to anybody who'd like to.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
she's excellent.
If she has social media and all that, you should also give it so I can post it somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
right. Anything else regarding mental health that we haven't touched on?
Yeah, we've left something out.
Well, what are we leaving out?
The link between depression and high IQ.
Yes, we did not finish
we didn't
that.
tackle that part.
Sorry. So what do you think? Because
there are a lot of factors that might come into play. And one theory that I know of, I've known of for quite a while now, is that when somebody's mind is gifted in one area, it creates a deficit in another. So for these highly intelligent people, they are so gifted in intellectual abilities. They they can do math tasks very easily. Yeah. But then they may have a deficit in areas of the brain responsible for coping with stress.
Yes.
Yeah, because heightened ability in one area creates a deficit in another. So that could explain that. And then the second one is maybe, okay, it's not a maybe. This is now proven. It's a fact that the brains of highly intelligent people are hyperactive or hypersensitive to things. So the way they react to stressors, the way they react to stimuli in the environment is not the same way an average person would.
Okay.
So they get perceived in some sort of heightened form. So for them, a very small thing might be a catastrophe because their brains are wired in a way that they are very sensitive. They're hypersensitive to the environment stimuli.
So does that?
And then there's a yeah. There's another condition called hyperthymesia, which causes people to have a very detailed autobiographic memory. So from the age of 7, they can remember everything as if it was yesterday.
Wow.
To detail, from the color of the shirt they were wearing, from the socks, from what they had for dinner, what they had for breakfast. They can remember every single thing. So imagine the brain of such a human being. They don't just remember the happy moments. They also remember the sad moments.
Yes.
And they remember it as if it happened yesterday. And we know that the pass of time itself is a healing factor.
Right.
So if you're traumatized, today, tomorrow you won't be as traumatized as you are today, because
time
has passed between today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And for these people, it's like time hasn't passed, because they remember every single thing just the way it happened.
Yeah.
And having that thought in their mind is re-traumatizing, and it's re-depressing, and you just get the cycle. So that ability to have a very, very sharp memory, laser-like memory, it's also a bad thing for depression. And then because they have deficits in other areas of their life, they might be frustrated.
Yeah,
We know of people who are highly intelligent. They have difficulty in forming interpersonal relationships.
wow.
For
Yeah.
example, if you watch The Good Doctor, there's a series called The Good Doctor by,
Yeah.
I think the guy is a doctor and he's also autistic.
Yeah.
So he's highly intelligent that he cannot get a girlfriend. And then there's this another one called The Typical of dude who's also autistic.
Yeah.
Knows all about penguins. Knows of 100 different ways of making an egg. But this person simply can't form relationship with people, can't even get a girlfriend, had trouble getting laid.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
So,
that is that the same thing that
These
causes?
deficits.
So is the same brain condition that causes them to not have good social skills?
That's autism.
Ah.
Autism is a mixture of ability and disability.
Okay.
They have ability.
But-
The abilities that autistic people have is they're constricted thinking. They have repetitive thinking, repetitive behavior. Once they are interested in something, they become obsessed with it
Okay.
to the extent that they become so good at it. But the deficit now is emotional. They can't read social cues. They can't understand sarcasm. They can't understand jokes. They're always honest, even in situations where not supposed to be honest. They can't read facial expressions, but they also have the ability now, which puts them at a very opportune place in the society.
Ah. Interesting.
So,
Uh-huh.
I have an idea for Linus's next article.
Yeah.
Could you analyze Sheldon, Bank Theory?
Oh goodness.
Sheldon.
No. Hold on. No, Linus. Before you even answer that, let me point this out.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't. What's it about, by the way? I've heard about it,
The
but
Big Bang Theory. That how many seasons are there?
11.
Yeah, Linus, are you ready to go through 11 seasons
I
of a
think I can do
sitcom?
it December after I'm through with my exams.
Okay, now
Yes.
since
From date 11, I can start watching.
since we're suggesting, can you do one on The Watchmen too? There's a series that has come out
Yeah,
called
let me write them down.
yeah.
The
Since,
Watchmen.
since you're taking suggestions, yeah, there's a series on HBO called The Watchmen.
How many seasons?
No, it just came out. This is season 1. So far, there are 7 episodes, and it's 1 hour each. So it's
Okay,
it's very philosophical. And if you have time, also watch the movie by the same title. It's called Watchmen.
Is it a movie?
Okay.
There's a movie.
Yes.
There's a movie. Then HBO just started doing series, and I've been following it very religiously. It's very deep, very philosophical. Oh my goodness, I cannot even. So yeah, check those out.
Okay. I think I'll take a plunge. I'll have a look at it
Yes.
as soon as I'm free.
Yeah. Anything
Okay,
you?
thank you.
Yeah. How many? Anything you guys want to plug? We are at 1 hour already, so I think we should be. I don't know if you want to go 2 hours. What else do we need to talk about? Oh, we haven't talked about the economy, Nelius.
I only have one request to make of you,
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Make sure that as soon as it starts to snow, take photos, send them to me.
I got you.
You know, my dream is to have Christmas where it's
A snowy
snowing.
Christmas.
I don't know when that's ever gonna happen.
It has happened, I think, once, but usually, yeah, okay. It depends on where I am. If I'm in Kansas City, it might not. But if I'm up in Nebraska somewhere, it usually snows during Christmas. So yeah, I'll send you photos, man.
Please do.
Nelius, we haven't talked about the economy. We need to talk about the economy.
Yeah, that is the. We need another
Hour or
session
so.
for it. There's ecology stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like with therapy, but which is
Okay. So you're saying we should do this another time on economy, the economy. Okay. All right.
yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for your time and participation. And it's 12 a.m. here, so I need to cook ugali, eat, and go to sleep.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem, guys.
It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you for sacrificing
It's
your time and data. I know data is a serious commitment. Having data at this time is I'm sorry for you guys. Anyway, but if you lack data, just hit me up. Hit your boy up. He'll hook you up anytime, any day. But yeah, thanks for your time. Hopefully we'll do this again soon. I don't know when, because from today I'm working, so I might talk to you.
Football podcast on Sunday.
Yes, we do. We were supposed to, but I was so tired, my guy. You have known, because I got from work and my baby is sick and there's crying and there's all that. So, but this Sunday,
sorry about
Nelius, do you watch football?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I was expecting something smart. Say, you have better things to do, eh?
Not really. Yeah, of course I have better things to do.
Of course.
But also,
she's a bookworm. Come on.
Oh yeah, there's books. Who needs football when you have books? I understand.
Who needs books when you have football?
Oh my goodness.
what?
Yes, who needs books when you have football? Now, Linus, don't start a war you can't finish, please. Thank you guys, and I think we should do this every week. I don't know if you guys have time, but hopefully we'll see.
Down, me.
We will see. Nelius,
Sounds like fun.
Oh, you okay? All right. I'm going to edit this and just upload it not right now, but because it's an hour, so it'll take me an hour to edit. Then I'll post it. But you guys, I'll put your social media pages on the description if you send it to me, please, and go ahead and follow them on Twitter. I know Nelius is very active on Twitter, and
only on Snapchat.
Are you on Snapchat?
Yeah, only on Snapchat.
I'm not active on Snapchat.
Oh, yeah, you can put it down there if someone wants to connect with you. I heard, so you are giving out applications for Nini, for wives. Now, applications for husbands. Put down your careers, and we'll sort you out also.
No, don't.
I'll put your Twitter and. Huh?
Don't set them up for
Ati?
Linus.
Yeah.
Don't
Sorry.
use the ladies for failure because it's a
And you're breaking. I can't hear you.
I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
Linus, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Okay.
Don't be off.
See, we are setting each other up. Now, me, I'm already set up, so only you two need to be set up. So anyway, your social media pages, please send them to me so I can post them there. I'll put Linus's blog.
You have
Nelius.
my IG.
Yeah, I think.
On my blog.
Yeah, Nelius, do you have anything else other than social media, like a blog or anything?
Wait, my blog died.
That is
She used to write very nice poems, by the way.
that's very
You
unfortunate.
still write poems?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
And guys, I have an idea. If you guys are interested in also starting your own podcasts and discussing with your friends, that would be awesome. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But I think this right now
Yeah, this is
good.
mine.
It's a good stepping stone.
Yeah, this is mine.
Yeah.
But you guys should have.
Hello?
Yes.
Different opinions are nice,
Yes.
as opposed to like the one viewpoint.
Yes, but I'm saying, so you have other friends who are very opinionated. I'm sure you have because you're the only two friends I know that are opinionated. No one else wanted to do this. So that's what I'm saying. Look for
To
people.
do this, you have to be very brave as well. So
Yeah.
it was
So
a risk.
no, I've
We took a risk.
always wanted to. Let me tell you a story, guys. And I don't think I've ever said this story anywhere. So in high school. I don't know. Do you guys know Chris Kirubi?
Yes.
So in high school, I met Chris Kirubi at a function in Aga Khan somewhere. I think it's the high school. I don't know. Yeah, who cares anyway. And he was talking to us and blah blah blah. He gave us, because he owns Capital FM, so he was talking blah blah blah. Then after I got to, I was interested in radio, so I went up to him and like, do you think there's a way if I finish high school and did college, I could get a job at Capital FM? And he was like, no, you just stick to books. So I was like, this dude, I've idolized this dude. Then I'm going up to him to ask him for a job, and he just turned me down.
Oh no.
So I've always carried that pain in me, and I said one day I'll be able to have a voice. It doesn't matter because I love radio. I used to listen to radio. I used to even get in trouble because I used to live tweet when I'm listening to the radio. So I loved it. I love the talking to people, and I can even do this for free. That's what I'm doing right now anyway. So yeah, it's always been a dream, and I think it was fueled by Chris Kirubi turning me down. Chris Kirubi, watch this space. And I'm dropping the mic now. Now I feel better. Vent. I had that vent. I had to take it out. Nelius, anything? Any last words?
Let's do this some other time.
Okay. And Linus, any finishing?
The only thing I'd like to tell you is that I am congratulating you for channeling your energy, the negative energy you got from Chris.
Thank you.
And to making your own podcast.
Thank you. Yes, Chris
Yeah.
Kirubi, this is for you. All right, guys. Thank you.
To unexpressed emotions come out.
Nelius, we're trying to end the pod. I gave you a chance to talk. Maliza. I gave you a chance to talk, and now I'm trying to close up. You. What are you saying?
I'm allowed to change my mind.
Okay.
I'm allowed to change it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why.
human.
That's why we have a woman on here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. What's your change of mind? What are you saying?
I just said, when I said something, unexpressed emotions come out.
They never die. They're buried alive, but come forth later in uglier ways.
Yes.
Yes,
Now.
I need pen. Yes, I don't have a what memory.
Yeah, you should. You don't have anything to vent out.
Yes.
You do you have a vent that you should hear?
No, not in a public space.
Okay, not today. Hapo nasemanga, not today, Satan, not today. Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you guys, and if you continue like this thing won't end. So I'll talk to you guys. Thanks for doing this. Hopefully we make it a regular thing. I know people's schedules are crazy, but thank you for listening. If you're listening, please like, subscribe, and listen all the whole 1 hour, please. We've talked all these hours for you. Please finish. I know they won't even hear this because they'll figure 10 minutes and stop listening. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully, I look forward to you guys' channels coming up too. Yeah. So I'm gonna end it at that. So peace, love, and unity. Yeah, we are out. This has been our Ginger Records production.